All right. What's going on, everyone? So, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create this nice little story-like collection link section. Got to find a shorter name for that, but that's what we're going to make today. And I'm going to try to make it short and sweet, but without any further ado, let's get into it. So, I got the inspiration for this from this website called Homesick. They make very nice candles. Looks like nice, makes you homesick. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible, and I'm gonna walk you through the code. I have that open over here, and I'll include everything on a Notion little page that I'll share in the description, so you can follow along, get set up, and hopefully, yeah, if this works for you, if you want to try it out, give it a shot. But if you can see here, fairly simple, just one page that we'll add into your Shopify store. Disclaimer, there's definitely a better way to do this, I'm sure. And if you know, feel free to share that below in the comments and everywhere. We love constructive comments and all that good stuff. And so if you just want to say what's up, do that too. But yeah, so this is just a thought of quick little weekend project that I made over here. And so yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. So I won't go through how to set up your local environment. I'll link some videos on how to do that using the Shopify CLI, which they just made some updates. Now it's like the 3.0 version. So I was just getting used to the 2.0, and then they're like, all right, let's do the 3.0. So pretty similar, just some different commands and authentication, process, whatever. But let me just open the editor on here too. So we'll get that set up. So you guys can also notice here that we're still moving into this new apartment. This is gonna be my office studio. So gonna do some big changes back here and make it cool and have fun with that, but something to look forward to. Cool. So you can see here, I got my little coffee store set up here, and the way I made this section was to include the different collections, right? So you can use this for any different thing, for products, for whatever you want to link up here and just have it look cool. I made this thing also to only show on mobile, because that's what they did here with Homesick. It's only a mobile section, which I like that. It's just it makes it so it's a unique experience for mobile, and so you're not it's a different strategy, right? So this is native to mobile, so people are used to that and clicking it. So I like that. I thought it was clever. So that's what we'll do here. Let's see, what else do we need to get started. I just grabbed these simple photos from online and just saved them, snagged them. So grab yourself some photos just to use as placeholders in the meantime. And besides that, that should be it. So the first thing that you would do is go to your section. So these are all your files for your theme. Go to sections. What you're going to do is you're going to create a new section and call it whatever you want, something that you'll remember. So the way you'll do that is just do a new file. We can call this, collection. It's probably spelled wrong. Collection -links -section, and then do a .liquid. Cool. So now we got a fresh section that we could add to our store. I'm not going to work off of this. I decided I'm just going to work off of what I already made, but just for the sake of, just so we can reference things and to make this thing a little quicker and straightforward. So let's go delete that. Let's actually just delete this too. Delete. Move to trash. Yes. Okay. So I included I included the code for this on the little Notion page, so you guys can follow along there too. So you don't have to just like reference the video all the time. You can just, if you want to copy and paste it into your code editor and then dissect it like that, that's cool too. But let's clean this up. So you can see we have this, our local environment set up already. So just to test it, you can just do some like dummy text, see if it shows up on the front end, and it does. So that is good. Had that little brew your problems away headline. I thought that was funny. And I'm gonna build out this store. This will be like my test store that I'll do some new features and if I find anything that I like. So I'm sure I'll think of some other fun things to add. And if you have anything that you want to add to, like some copy or some images, feel free to send them over, and we'll have fun with this. But cool. So quick little walkthrough of what this is. So here, and I decided to make this all in one file. Some people like to, for the sake of like organization, separate their CSS from their HTML, and I decided just to do it on one page just so it's cleaner. So that's just a personal preference. And when I'm like coding it, I'll actually just like open it in a separate little, how do I do the little side thing? There you go. Side thing. I'll have it like this, right? So this will be all my style CSS, and then it'll be all my HTML right here, and then the schema. So I have it separate to like code it and make it. So it kind of feels the same, but just for like maintenance and to keep everything in the same place, I normally just do it on the file. And the way that I do that too is I try to be very unique with my classes, just so things aren't being overridden and all that. You don't have to deal with other problems. So like I said, this is just my approach. I'm sure there's better ways to do it. And if you have some more best practices that you want to share with me, dude, I'd love to hear that, because we're just having fun here. So let's get into this thing. Sorry, all my ranting. But cool. So this first div on the outside, you can see here, is since we just want this on mobile, I created this div just to wrap everything that's going to show it and hide it using media query. So if I scroll up right here, you'll see this media query where it's only going to show on screens that are from 0 pixels all the way up to 500 pixels. And then anything bigger, it's going to hide it. So you can see here this display none. It's going to hide it on any screen that's bigger than 500 pixels. Cool. So that's the outer layer. Then going into this next div, you have this, just the container, just the container for everything in here. And so let's go to the CSS for that. It's right here. So added some padding, just the top and bottom, just so, give it some space to breathe. Then you're going to do display flex. And what that's going to do is going to let everything align horizontally across the page, instead of having it all stack. Because by default with CSS, it'll be display block, and that'll have it all stack on top, but we want it to stack horizontally as shown. Okay, and then this next piece of CSS, this has to do with the scrolling behavior, this whole chunk here, because I really liked how you can like scroll, like just like how it is on Instagram. You can like, have a bunch of content and not just have it be stuck on the page. And so kind of did that here. And when we get into the blocks, the Shopify schema, you could see we can just continue to add different little links here. So that's cool. So all of this does is this enables scrolling on for overflow. Anything that's overflowing the viewport, it's going to be scrollable, so you can go through it. And then this chunk right here, this all is just to hide the scroll bar. And that was just a personal preference for mine. You can see that Homesick shows it down there, and it kind of like fades in and out. I think that's cool. But for me, I just wanted to have it just not do that. So I found this online, just Googled the problem and found the solution. So that's cool. All right. So now we're at the container. So we covered this and we covered this. This next step, you're going to see here, this is where we get fun Shopify stuff. So What's cool is that the way that we're making this is we're making it in blocks. So basically we only have to make one, and then as we set up our schema, if we create another in the section, it's just gonna bloop, 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 populate and build off of the first block that you make. So that's why you don't see this chunk of code duplicated, because that's what this little snippet's doing. This piece of liquid code, it's duplicating that little block that you made. All right, so going into this next, so now we're showing the actual little link, which is composed of an image and some text. So I wrapped it in an anchor tag, and you can see here, and we'll get into the schema last, but you have the little schema here. So that allows you to customize it for each different block. Very cool. And so this story link, we wanted it to stack on top of each other. And then we also wanted it to fill up the space equally. So even if there's a different sized image, it's all gonna line up good. So let's go check out the story link CSS. It's right here. So since this is an anchor tag, we wanted to remove the text decoration that does it by default, which is like that little underline that you see on links and hyperlinks. We changed the color to black. So that's the color we want the text. And then in order to stack them and have them, fit flush top and bottom. So if you could see me in the video. So now they're stacked, right? Because they're on, since we did display flex and column, so now they're stacked. But since we want them to fit on the top of the box and on the bottom of the box, so everything is flush, we added a line item center. That's just going to make it centered in the block. And then the space between, for justify content, space between is going to make it tie into the top and the bottom of the box. A little bit, it's a little bit tricky. I'm sure there's a better way to do that. I'm probably like overthinking it big time, but I always just default now to Flexbox just because it's like, that's just the way my mind works. So we'll do that. The next thing is I gave this a height just so it kind of had some room, because I think I had it with like, let's just make this 25. Let's see what happens. It needed some room to breathe. So I added, what did I change it to? 60. Yeah, so like you could see like the size of the anchor. I just wanted it to be kind of give it some space between the image and the text. So that's why I added this little this height here. Like I said, better ways to do it, but that's how we're doing it. Last little thing for each of these little anchors, each of these little links, is I added some margin only on the right hand side, because we want it to be flush to the left side of the screen, but then we want to give them spacing between each link. So each one's going to have 30 pixels of margin between the next one. So that's that. And you can see it kind of builds off of each other as we're scrolling over here. Cool. So that's a story link. Then these next two parts are pretty simple. It's just an image, and we'll get into the schema next. And then we have this paragraph tag, this p tag. Same thing with just a schema, so it can be different every time. So pretty simple, right? Now we'll go into the last part, which is the schema. And so this is just so you know, if you're new to this stuff, when you tweak this area, schema and presets, or the all this I don't see all this code right here. This has to do with the customizer and how you're gonna make it easy to edit and to build off of each other. So that's that. You could see the reason I have the editor over here on the left, so we can see how everything like connects, right? So story collection gallery, this right here. I have like 5 names for this little thing, but I'll just write Roy here. Roy's. Let's do that. Okay. And then we're gonna refresh this. And let's see, hopefully that works. And, ooh, where did that show? Huh. Maybe that's, oh no, duh. Sorry about that, guys. Let me do that. It's down here, the presets. Boom. Now let's save it. That's how it shows up in the editor on the left. This one I'm pretty sure about. No, still no. What the heck? Okay, it's all right. Where does that happen? Well, let's see. Let's add another one because I know it has something to do with how it shows up. Story collection gallery. Well, okay. That's that. Okay. So here's a new fresh one of this same section that we just did. And this is one we'll be building off of. But hey, I'm tripping right now. I think it's this. I'm pretty sure this shows up. Let me just see, Roy. Okay, is this all, yeah, it's going good. Okay. Oh, it was too long. See, you got to look at these errors in the terminal. Let's just do store. Let's do that. Dude, I was tripping. Refresh. Pretty sure this changes the name of how it shows up in the terminal. What's really important about this part, I'm like getting stuck in this, but it's just so you can identify what things you're adding. So let's see. Boom. Boom. Store. There we go. So you see that? Oh, it's blocked by my face. Here. You guys see this? Store. I wasn't tripping. So presets connects to when you add it. Okay. So you can see that. Oops. Let's go back here, everyone. Lost you. There you go. Let's put myself back here. Okay. So change that back to story. And then let's go here. Let's just add T or story collection T. Collection. There we go. Let's refresh this. This should change the name that shows up on the left. Let's see. Collectioned. Yes, sir. Okay, I wasn't tripping. I'm like, dude, I feel like I knew that. Okay. Back to normal. Just so you guys know what connects. All right, that was a big tangent. But okay, so now let's talk. So we talked about the names and how things connect over here. But for this section, let's go into the blocks. So each block is one of these little items here, right? So it'll show you that we set up all these different options that are going to be added here. So there's a collection link, which is where it's going to link. There's the image, which populates the image. And then there's the title, which populates the title. So to show you how that it works, let's just do test. And it shows up. Awesome. We'll do an image. Let's just do this bean again. Select that. It works there. And then you can link it, right? So let's link it to all products there. There we go. Good. Save that. Perfect. So that's just the process of adding one of these blocks, right? So now I'm going to show you where each of these connects to the code. So you can kind of put the pieces together at this point, right? So if you go look at these settings, each one of these ties to one of these inputs. So for example, URL is the link right here, and we have the label. So you can change that to links, collection links, which I don't want to change that, but I just want to show you that it populates there. Come on, baby. Collection links. There you go. Let's change it back. That was just to show you. All right. So you can edit it there. So each one of these connects to the editor, right? But now we also got to connect it to the code in our blocks. So the way that we're going to do that is by using the ID. Okay. So let's start with link. So where's our link going to go? It's going to go in our anchor tag. Okay, so that's where this double bracket liquid tag goes. Okay, so you can see here, since it's a block, you're going to use the address, or whatever you want to call this, block.settings, because the settings of the block, and then you're going to use the ID for whatever you're trying to do. So since we're doing a link, we'll use the ID for link. Boom. Also, what's really important is that you have the types right. So I'm not going to go super deep into this because this is kind of, we could even make another video on schema and what that is, but make sure that the type is what you want to show up in the editor, right? So since this is a URL, it'll give us this like URL drop down search finder thing, whatever. So that's important. Next one we'll do is the image picker, right? Because this gives us this really cool image functionality here to like swap it and edit it and all that stuff. So make sure for images you add that. We're going to grab this ID and we're going to throw it into the image source. With this too, it's kind of a liquid thing. For images, so you add the same kind of address here, settings.id and everything, and then you're going to add this little pipe. And then there's different, so for this, since this is an image, with liquid you can control the size of the image. So with this little filter, so that's what it's called in liquid, you can add the size. So it's best practice to add that, and I don't even think it'll let you do that without it. So make sure for images you add this little, specify what size you want it to be. All right. And then the last one, and we won't go back through this, but it's just the title, right? So we want this title to be dynamic. We have the ID there. Good looking. So boom, add it there. And I'm pretty sure that's it, guys. So I'll just delete this extra section here because we don't need two of those unless you want to do that, which is totally fine, to each their own. But let's save this, okay? And so we'll show you how to push this up to our live store now. So now that we have all our changes in our local environment, I know we didn't go super in depth into setting up our local environment, but we can do that another time. You'll hit Control C to kill your dev environment. Then what you're going to do is you'll type in the command Shopify theme push. So that we're going to push this theme back into the ether, back into our theme on our live store. So let's click that. By the way, we're already logged in to our store here, so we can go over that in another video. But like I said, I'll link something over to so you guys could at least get to that point. So now it gives us an option here to choose which theme we want to go to. So since in this Shopify store I only have one theme in there, and it's not live, it's not actually out there in the world. I don't mind pushing to this live theme, but what I would suggest is pushing to like a staging theme or whatever, however you want to manage it, version control. If you're not like connecting it to GitHub or anything like that, push it there, check it, and then push it to live from there, or however you want to do it. But for here, we're going to go loose cannon, just push directly to live. Yes, you want to push live. Cool. So next, let's see our work. Hopefully this looks good. So we'll go full screen for this, or bigger screen. Let's see here. All right. So this is our desktop version of our theme. Looks okay. We still got work to do. All right, and let's go down to let's inspect. Boom. Looks like we're looking good. So doesn't show when we get to 500. And boom, our little thing will show, our new section. Looks good and scrollable. Looks awesome. And we're good to go. Sweet. So hopefully this works for you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to, DM me or, comment on the video. That's cool. I'm super down to help, but this is just a fun little project that we did. So cool. Let me see any other last things. Notion that this, all the, directions to this whole thing will be on a Notion site page that I'll show in the description. I'm working on a blog. I'm moving websites right now. I'm going from Webflow. I think I want to move over to Next.js. So that's like, trying to be all cool and techie. So that's coming in the works. I gotta learn how to do that. But thanks so much for watching, and I appreciate all the love, all the support, and talk to you later. Peace.